Hey everyone, welcome back to the Email Ignition podcast by warmy.io, the place where we keep your emails warm and your growth strategy even warmer. I'm Lucas Danik, your host. Today we're taking a tour through three stories that, on the surface, live in different worlds: scrappy entrepreneurship, public safety tech, and company culture. But when you zoom out, they're all answering the same question: how do we make AI actually useful without losing our minds, our privacy, or our souls? Here's the plan. First, a Reddit builder who says they reached 2K monthly in 12 months by ignoring startup best practices. He breaks all the rules, then tells you to do the same. Sort of. Second, a deep dive on Lumana, the AI video surveillance company refraining safely from recording to understanding, along with real privacy trade-offs and why context beats clips. Third, we'll unpack what keeps people and companies away from AI in the first place, drawing on a Forbes feature about adoption blockers that you can actually fix. Promising enough for you? I love it, let me tell you. If you did too, buckle up, because we're only warming up. Let's roll. I want to start with a post that punches through the user startup noise. It's from Reddit user Important Word 4026. Title: reached 2,000 monthly in 12 months by ignoring startup best practices. They open with refreshing candor. Quote, "Yes, I'm a little crazy. Yes, I didn't do it the way you might have done it. Yes, this is real. Check my history if you want proof. I did this transparently on Reddit from 4,000 a month all the way past to $100,000. The thesis isn't subtle. Quote, I simply saw that people already buy. Genius." End of quote. Then comes a fake out that's actually the lesson. A rapid fire list of startup commandments. In reverse. Quote, don't do any of this. Don't launch before testing demand. Don't focus on a slimmed down product and fat marketing. End of quote. And then this unusual entrepreneur comes with a twist. Quote, let me stop messing with y'all. Reread those last few sentences and ignore don't. These things are exactly what I would do all over again. End of quote. This is entrepreneurship is stripped of theater. It's not worshiping frameworks, it's shipping reps, as they put it. Everything I learned by doing and Googling, and taking shots and learning along the way. And then they give you a concrete playbook. Quote, grab a one-page business plan and write that idea out. Make sure it's something with viable competition. Boom. Validation done. Get up a landing page. Takes like 10 minutes these days. Set up your Stripe or Calendar link. And on distribution, he continues. Quote, get to marketing hitting all of these as close to daily as possible. Facebook groups, Facebook DMs, LinkedIn, Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. End of quote. The tempo is the message. Don't wait for permission. Get feedback now. And he continues. Quote, if you don't have some money from this in like 60 days, pivot and move on. End of quote. The post also diagnoses the real blocker. The user says most aspiring entrepreneurs are physically allergic to execution. And this is a line that should be screen printed and taped above your desk. He says, you've confused preparation with progress. You think startups are about perfect ideas. Startups are about reps. End of quote. There's also a timely reminder about AI as a throughput multiplier. Quote, and now with AI, the ability to put up reps is closer to once per week than it is once per year. And finally, a chef's kiss metaphor for your mindset. The user says, quote, instead treat business content like a recipe, not a novel. And he ends, what do we do with all this, right? Now here are some key takeaways you can put to use today. Whether you're a solopreneur or someone starting not from scratch without a budget, but with a risky idea that can do big. Treat validation as a verb. Landing page, checkout link, daily distribution, then judge the idea by its cash signals within around 60 days. Use AI to accelerate reps, ideation, first drafts, simple prototypes, so you can learn faster where humans matter most. Positioning, trust, and closing. Keep your stack light. Keep your loop tight. Well, if you've been on the sidelines, consider this your sign. As the author says, take action. Now let's shift from bootstrapping to public safety and operational intelligence. And the AI hard truth most vendors gloss over. From artificial intelligence news, we get a profile on Lumana, and the opening line sets the stakes. Quote, for all the progress in artificial intelligence, most video security systems still fail at recognizing context in real-world conditions. End of quote. And why is that, right? Because most systems were never designed to think. Quote, traditional video platforms were created decades ago to record footage. not interpreted. Say Jordan Shu, Lumana's vice president of marketing. She also adds, quote, adding AI on top of outdated infrastructure is like putting a smart chip in a rotary phone. It might function, but it will never be truly intelligent or reliable enough to understand what's being captured or help teams make smarter real-time decisions, end of quote. That analogy lands because we're all seeing AI boats on. They look modern, but behave medieval. The consequences aren't abstract, they're sirens. Quote, when traditional video security systems layer AI on older infrastructure, false alerts and performance issues arise, end of quote. They cite a use case where an AI add-on misidentified a harmless object as a gun, triggering an unnecessary police response. And here's a line that sums up the human cost. Quote, every mistake, whether it's a missed event or a false alert, which leads to improper response, erodes trust, end of quote. So what's Lumana's move? Well, rebuild the foundation, not the frozen. Quote, instead of layering AI on top of old video security frameworks, Lumana rebuilt the infrastructure itself with an all-in-one platform that combines modern video security hardware, software, and proprietary AI, end of quote. Technically, that matters because of where the thinking happens. After all, this company's hybrid cloud design, connected with any security camera to GPU-powered processors and adaptive AI models operating at the edge, means they are located as close as possible to where the footage is captured. And this is why you should care. Edge plus adaptive model equals lower latency and higher context. The system learns the environment, motion, behaviors, patterns, rather than expecting a lab to mirror a city block. Quote, AI shouldn't need a perfect lab environment to work. It should work in real-world conditions and adapt based on video data that's coming in, end of quote. As amazing as the use of AI is, in the context of security, privacy gets into the conversation as a very worrying aspect. Because smarter cameras without governance is a plot line nobody wants. So let's dive into what Lumana says about it. Quote, all data is encrypted, governed by access controls and compliant with SOC2, HAPAA, and MDAA standards. Customers can disable facial or biometric tracking if they choose. Our focus, they say, is on actions, not identities. That's an important framing, actions, not identities. Still, safeguards are only as good as the operators and policies behind them. If this tech falls into the wrong hands, you have a high-resolution surveillance state. So the privacy design choices, opt-outs for biometrics, strict access controls are non-negotiable. And here's proof it's not just slideware. In manufacturing at JKK Pack after Lumana, quote, the company reported 90% faster investigations and alerts delivered in under a second, end of quote, without replacing a single camera. In retail, integrating with point of sale helped flag, quote, unusual point of sale activity like repeat voids, end of quote, reducing shrink. Zoom out to the enterprise AI climate, quote, a recent study from F5 found that only 2% of companies consider themselves full ready to scale AI, with governance and data security cited as the main challenges, end of quote. Now here's the translation to all that. The era of move fast and break things has been replaced by move accurately and show your homework. As the article notes, analysts warn systems must remain auditable, transparent, and free from bias. Now where's the heading? Lumana's VP sketches the frontier. Quote, the next evolution of AI video will be about reasoning, end of quote. Not just detection, but understanding. This means moving from there's motion to that's unsafe motion. From there's smoke to that pattern suggests a fire risk. That's exciting and scary, because prospective systems can drift into preemptive systems. Guardrails must scale with capability. Your takeaways if you're a founder, operator, or public leader. Don't stack AI on rotten infrastructure. If reliability matters, fix the foundation first. Design for privacy by default. Encryption, access controls, biometric opt-outs, logs. Treat expectability as a feature, not a footnote. If you can't audit it, you can't trust it. And last but not least, you start with high-impact, low-controversy use cases. Safety, maintenance, shrink, while building your governance muscle for more sensitive deployments. Now, to close today's episode, let's get honest about AI adoption. Because here's the thing. The real obstacle isn't technology, it's people, culture, and process. A recent Forbes feature by Alison Coleman makes that point perfectly clear, noting that while AI brings the promise of faster decision-making and efficiency, founders often struggle not with the tools themselves, but with how they impact teams, culture, and customers. And the numbers back it up. 72% of companies cite integration as their biggest challenge. 70% worry about data and privacy. 62% say they don't fully understand AI's benefits. And 60% admit they simply lack the internal resources to make it work. So it's not a model problem. It's a management problem. Let's look at 3 stories that bring this to life. Aaron Wills, founder of Cowboy Pools, didn't start out running a tech company. He was literally in backyards, installing tank pools under the Texas sun. When he tried bringing AI into scaling, marketing, and forecasting, the biggest pushback didn't come from technology. It came from his own team. Most of them saw AI as something for Silicon Valley, not for a hands-on local business. Wills realized he couldn't just roll it out top-down. So he started small. Instead of flashy dashboards or predictions about everything under the sun, he used AI for one thing: forecasting install delays caused by weather. The results? Fewer cancellations, smoother scaling, and happier clients. And that small, tangible win flipped skepticism into curiosity. Within months, the same team that resisted automation was helping expand AI into marketing and design mockups. The real lesson wasn't technical, it was cultural. Wise learned that AI adoption is less about rollout plans and more about relationship management. You didn't start by selling the dream. You start by solving a pain. Next comes Anne Lee, an architect turned interior designer running a meme concept. Her brand lives at the intersection of structure and soul. Beautiful design with emotional depth. Introducing AI into a creative process like that felt risky. Lee worried the automation could strip away what makes her work human. Those small imperfections that make interiors feel alive and personal. So she didn't replace creativity, she enhanced it. Her team began using AI to visualize concepts and map customer journeys, testing tools like Midjourney and ChatGPT for idea exploration and marketing insights. By combining HubSpot's AI-powered CRM data with her design intuition, Lee's team began spotting patterns in customer behavior, like when clients were most likely to buy sustainable or multifunctional pieces, and timing campaigns accordingly. It wasn't about letting algorithms design for her. It was about letting them inform when and how to bring the human touch to market. The result? Faster iterations, better forecasts, and a business that stayed grounded in creativity while embracing intelligent systems. And Lee puts it this way, quote, "The key to success is knowing how to set boundaries with AI," end quote. That's the difference between using technology and being used by it. Finally, there's Steve Case, who was an insurance hero, a financial and insurance consultancy. His story captures one of the biggest hidden costs of AI adoption, the fear of displacement. When his team introduced AI for lead scoring, his biggest hesitation wasn't the algorithm, it was his people. 3 administrative staff had been doing that job for years, and he feared automation might make them obsolete. Instead of rushing in, he took a step back and redesigned the roles first. One team member shifted to manually validating AI outputs, a quality assurance layer. The other 2 moved into client relationship management, focusing on conversations that AI simply couldn't handle. The outcome was remarkable. The company improved lead processing efficiency by 45% without losing a single employee. Now, this amazing case reminded me of Annabis.io. If you ever felt like you're wasting too much time on outreach, manually trying to follow up and reach out to new potential clients, I really recommend you to take a look at it. Annabis.io uses AI to do the heavy lifting for you, keeping your pipeline always filled with qualified leads while you can focus on conversions. So when you line up these 3 stories, a pool builder, a designer, and an insurance consultant, the pattern is kind of obvious. AI doesn't fail because it's too complex. It fails because it's rolled out like software instead of social change. So if you want adoption to work, here's the formula. Start with one pain point your team already hates dealing with. Show visible wins fast. Let the data prove your point. Then redefine roles before you automate. And finally, set boundaries. Decide where human intuition leads and where AI assists. For small businesses, this isn't about catching up with big tech. It's about building trust, literacy, and leverage step by step. And the best news? The bar is still low. Only 2% of companies say they're fully ready to scale AI. That means the ones who approach it thoughtfully, not recklessly, have a massive head start. So, before your next AI transformation meeting, remember, you don't need a 12-month roadmap. you need a human one. Alright, to sum up this episode, how do these three stories connect? The Reddit builder says she preps and stop confusing preparation with progress. Lumana says context beats clips, and privacy is a feature. Design it in. Forbes article, on the other hand, say people and purpose decide the fate of your AI rollout, not the hype curve. If you're a marketer or a founder, your edge isn't just a better model, it's a better operating system. So validate fast with live channels and real money. Instrument for governance and explainability early, especially where data touches humans. Treat adoption as a change management project, not a software install. And yes, while doing all that, keep your communications landing where they should. Your growth engine only works if your message gets delivered. And you know who to call for that, warmy.io. And here's a rapid fire playbook you can use today. For the entrepreneur mode, write a one-page plan. Launch a landing page today. Add Stripe or Calendly. Hit distribution daily. We're talking about Facebook groups, Facebook DMs, LinkedIn, Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. If you have no revenue in 60 days, pivot, learn, repeat. Just don't be steady. Ideas themselves on paper won't do nothing for you. Ops and safety mode. If your AI add-on fires false alarms, stop stacking frosting on a stale cake. Review the infrastructure. Push vendors on edge inference, auditability, privacy controls, and biometric opt-outs. Start with the least controversial, highest value detections, safety events, shrink, and maintenance. Pick one painful workflow. Delays, lead scoring, backlog. Redesigns roles first, then turn on the model. And last, set clear boundaries for creative teams, where AI helps, where human taste rules. 3 stories, 1 lesson. Use AI to amplify what matters, not to cosplay someone else's playbook. You don't need permission to start. You do need principles to scale. As the Reddit builder reminds us, you've confused preparation with progress. As Lumana's team reminds us, our focus is on actions, not identities. And as the Forbes article reminds us, map the human path first, then ship the tech. I'm Lucas Tonic, and this was the Email Ignition podcast by warmy.io. If this episode gave you something practical to try, share it with one builder who needs a nudge and one operator who needs a guardrail. Subscribe for more real-world, no-hype breakdowns of AI, marketing, and growth. Until next time, keep your strategy human, your systems explainable, and your emails warmed up. That will do for today. Thank you so much.